Hello everyone, we're Team Paramount, and this AI product that we built is about sentiment data analysis.
Hi, I'm Ari, and I worked as a web developer.
Hi, I'm Farzaan, and I was the product manager and one of the data scientists.
I am Rishabh, and I was one of the data scientists.
I'm Evan, I'm a web developer.
Hi, I'm Rishik. I was the machine learning engineer and one of the data scientists.
Hi, I'm Nikith. I was one of the web developers.
The goal of a product is to accurately analyze the sentiment of a customer's review. So the AI will detect certain words that have positive or negative connotations. And based on that, it's going to analyze if the sentiment is positive.
As Evan said, our product will read a review and display the sentiment. Our product is useful for all reviews, but particularly for the ones with no quote-unquote stars in the reviews. On these sites, you would have to read the review and determine for yourself whether or not the review is positive or negative, as there is no star to give it an overall rating. Another example would be the past year, where the only shopping people could do was online. Our product specializes in online reviews, which would have made last year's shopping a lot easier. And this is a quick demo. So you would put in a review, something like this, press submit, and it displays that it's a negative review, something like this. And it displays that it's positive.
Can you Google search AI camp reviews and then try some of the reviews for AI camp? I mean, those are not Amazon, but whatever.
Just like this first link.
Yeah.
Or something new. Displayed it as a positive review, which is
Surprise,
I think
right? Huh.
5 stars, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
For collecting our data, we use an Amazon's review dataset from Kaggle to train our model. The dataset had 2 files, one file with millions of Amazon reviews and another file with labels for each review to indicate whether each review was positive or negative, which made the whole pre-processing and training steps much easier.
For our pre-processing data, we first loaded the data into a Jupyter notebook and split it into its labels and text. And then we assigned the labels and text into training and testing. Training took up 80% of the data and testing took up 20% of the data. Moving on to the main pre-processing of the data, it involved text cleaning, lowercasing the text, removing punctuation, and stop words. And afterwards, when we vectorize the test data, we use Count Vectorizer to take the words of each sentence and create a vocabulary. It counted the amount of unique words in each sentence vector. After that, we split data into training and testing. The train test split procedure is used to estimate the performance of machine learning algorithms when they are used to make predictions on data not used to train the model. And after we thoroughly tested all the data, we chose the best model and saved it, and that model became the one we use in our project.
One of the models that were used in order to seek the highest accuracy rate was called the long short-term memory model, or LSTM. In the model, the data gets pre-processed by getting the reviews in lowercase and getting the punctuation removed. Further along, we get to one special algorithm in this model called a glove algorithm, which was an unsupervised learning algorithm that was used to obtain the vector representation of the words. So finally, with 20% of the data used for testing, 10 epochs and 100,000 points of data, the highest test accuracy number we got was 0.89 or 89%.
Another one of the models that we trained was the logistic regression model. This model was very efficient in trading and interpreting our data. We trained the model to be able to take in text inputs and accurately make predictions as a probability of the input, 0 or 1. For this model, our data set consisted of 3.6 million data points. And with 20% of the data left for testing, we were able to get a testing accuracy of around 91%. This model was the most effective when it came to training our data and getting an accurate outcome. And then for the third model, we use the SVM model. The support vector machine algorithm is very efficient and is more effective in high dimensional spaces, like our data set. The dimensions of our data set were 42,000 by 785, making it a high dimensional space. And then we decided to use this algorithm for its kernel trick to transform our data and then to find an optimal boundary between the possible output 0 and 1, 0 being a negative sentiment and 1 being a positive sentiment. And our data set for this model consisted of 50,000 data points. And with 20% of the data left for testing, we were able to get a testing accuracy of around 85%. And so for the evaluation, we used confusion matrices to figure out how effective our model was. The confusion matrix basically just shows the ratios of predicted values to the actual values. And for the logistic regression model on the left, it was a simple model, so we didn't expect it to give high accuracy, yet it was still pretty accurate, as we were able to get a testing accuracy of around 90%. And then for the SVM model, we trained the data on a smaller data set, and so the testing accuracy appears to be less compared to the logistic regression accuracy. And overall, the results showed that the logistic regression model was the most effective out of the models at accurately predicting the sentiment outcome of the inputs. And with more training of the models and data, we'll hopefully be able to increase the accuracy over time.
Farzaan, there's a question in the comment.
Because the logistic regression model is a pretty simple model, so it's able to take in lots of data. To answer that question.
And we would want to use the most data as possible in order to get the most accurate response and output.
So some of the difficulties we ran into with this project was trouble with the NicePace. That's the software used to create the website. Since none of us were really familiar with it, it took us a while to get used to it. We had some trouble with computer literacy and merging our project together. And we also had trouble with visualizing what the code we were writing was doing. It was kind of hard for us to say, okay, this line of code, I know exactly what that code's doing and that code's doing. So we had to fully understand the concepts and make sure that everything that we were writing, we weren't just blindly doing it without any knowledge. And then finally, our code had many errors and we had to fully understand them in order to fix them. Otherwise, we just ended up causing more errors.
So when you say computer literacy, are you saying like Git?
What was that?
For computer literacy, do you mean Git?
No, more like just getting through the project, like navigating all the CodeCalc and all the different folders and all the different data sets, and just the sheer amount of stuff we had to sift through in order to get this project done.
Is this the one of the most complicated project you ever worked on?
Like out of all the projects we've done,
of all the computer project,
yeah, definitely. This is one of the most difficult ones.
Okay. I can tell you, the complexity can increase 1,000 times when you go for good work. So I would say one of the most important thing here is that for you guys to have a clear organization and write clear code. So there are actually, we do have a program where we want to take you guys, the best of you guys. We're going to hire you, to develop software, for AI Cam and for other companies. And what really separates between a great developer versus a mediocre developer is basically how organized you are. So there's a book called Clean Code. And there's a PDF online. You should definitely search that. You should definitely read that. If anyone who's serious about, doing software development.
And then some of the lessons we learned were just like the importance of teamwork and knowing like having defined roles and knowing how to work within them. And then also just overcoming challenges and utilizing like mentors and the internet to understand new concepts.
Okay.
Data. And then we can also incorporate our AI product into companies' websites because it can help customers quickly sort through reviews, and it can help them evaluate products. And then it can also be developed even further for more use.